Hey, what's up you guys? The Darkson here back with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the DC Multiverse Deluxe Theatrical Edition Superman movie, Superman and Krypto. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you guys if you feel so inclined to please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel. It is absolutely free. Taking out the packaging over here, it's a little bit of a different style. This is kind of similar to the Collector's Edition, McFarlane Collector's Edition, except this time it's a new lineup called Deluxe Theatrical Edition. So a bit more of a bigger box. You got DC Multiverse there, Superman and Krypto at the bottom, collector card there, the base. Those are kind of like insert in the packaging. I don't like taking them out because then it destroys the packaging, so that's why I'm leaving it in there. So we won't be taking a look at that. But on this side over here, you can see the window box goes along, Superman and Krypto, Superman, DC Multiverse, and I just love that shade of blue going all around on this guy. You got a really nice like title over here with Superman in the picture. DC Studios, Superman. You got the window box along at the top. At the bottom, you got the UPC code, a bunch of legalese. And the back over here, you got a nice big image of Superman and Krypto, along with Superman and Krypto at the top there. Superman movie, McFarlane Toys, and all their social information there. So yeah, taking a look at these action figures over here. Do we really call this an action figure, or is it a set? Or a two-pack? Because, I don't know, I feel like Krypto is, a character on his own, which is pretty cool that we're getting it in this set over here. Now, there is this figure, and then there's also another version where it has the more plastic cape. That one's more on the cheaper side. This one has the wired cape. That's really the big difference between the two. Otherwise, it comes with the Krypto figure. But yeah, what do I have to say about Superman over here? I'm very excited for the new movie. I don't know much about it. That's all I can go off of. I think this suit looks awesome in figure form. So taking a look at the accessories over here, as we can see, 3 faceplates and 2 extra hands. Not very much for a collector edition figure, and I know a lot of people have been complaining that the faces look very similar to one another. Now, as far as I understand, there's one just regular, straight-looking forward face. There's one where it's looking slightly up, one that looks a little more determined, a little more angry, so maybe if he's like in flight mode or something like that. And then one with the laser vision eyes. Would have liked to see maybe a little effect that would have gone from the laser eyes. And then otherwise he comes with an extra pair of hands that are flight hands, and then otherwise from that it is a fist on the right hand and a slightly open hand on the left hand. I don't know if you call this an accessory, but Krypto over here does come with Superman, and he does not have any articulation on him. He's got a nice cloth cape over here. You see the Superman logo there as well too, which is pretty cool. Face sculpt doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks like a dog, so that makes sense. He's got the ear up there, Superman logo in there as well too. So yeah, otherwise just a regular, typical dog. Taking out the figure itself, I do think this looks like David Cornsweet. They do pretty good with the likenesses nowadays, and I do think this is pretty accurate to how he looks in the film, so no real complaints there. And obviously a lot of the faceplates are the same, so it's the same all around. He's got the big Superman logo over here. This is the new one that's kind of similar to the Kingdom Come logo, and it looks pretty good on here. I like how it kind of has the yellow outline around it. That's quite interesting. But the rest of the suit over here, I feel like if you want, it could add maybe like a little bit of a lighter blue wash, because it does look a little bit dark, but I do think it's a pretty good color in person. In camera, it shows up as a little bit dark, but in person, it looks pretty good. But you can see all the lines throughout it, and just a nice light blue dry brush would make that really pop. So that's pretty good on the sculpting side over there. You got that nice basketball texture going on all around. The shorts over here with the belt loops, those controversial Superman shorts, I think they look pretty good over here. It really does complement the rest of the fit. And over here in the pants, you can see the rest of the legs there, all the lining going throughout on the legs. And the back over here looks pretty good. The boots over here, the awesome Superman boots. Do you remember that one picture that we saw? That was the first look of the suit where he's putting the boots on. Yeah, looks pretty good over here. And obviously he's got 2 peg holes at the bottom of the feet. In terms of articulation, head can move up at about that much. I would have liked it a little bit more, especially with the Superman figure. You want to get those flight poses in, but unfortunately that's as much as you can move it up. You can move it down slightly. You can move it side to side. There's a bit of pivot in there as well too. Arms do go up about there. He's got the butterfly joint in there, so that's pretty good. A little bit extra movement. It can go down, up, down, bicep swivel in there, double jointed elbows, which are going about that far. You do have some wrist articulation, which is a swivel and a hinge, which is pretty good. And it's on a ball joint, so you can change that around as you wish. You do have a diaphragm joint over here along with the waist joint, so he does have double movement. My figure only wants to go down about that much, so if you play around with it, I think you can get a little more movement out of it, but then he can go back about that much. He can go on an angle one way, on an angle the other way, so that's pretty good. I've noticed that this top piece likes to get super loose, so that's one thing to keep a note of. Legs does move up about that much. He can kick back and on an angle, and then he can do the splits around there, and then he does have some knee articulation, which is a double joint right there, and then some ankle articulation, which is down, up, pivot like that, and then a toe hinge in there. And then if you want to count it, the cape does have a bendy wire that goes on the two sides, so you can get some pretty cool cape flapping poses. As for comparison, here is David Cornsweat's Superman compared to Christopher Reeve's Superman. And yeah, I don't know about the scaling over here, McFarlane. I do believe that these two are supposed to stand at about the same height, but you know, I guess Christopher Reeve is sort of like the great one, right? He's the greatest of all the Supermans, so maybe it makes sense that he's a little bit taller than this new Superman over here. If you are curious about how this figure scales to your figures at home, you can see over here that he does stand at about 7 inches tall. All right, so final thoughts on the Superman Deluxe figure. I'm a fan of this. I'm a really big fan of how they replicated the design of the costume from the movie. The hype there is real, so I think that that's pretty good. Proportions on it are all right. I do think that he could have been a little bit taller. Same thing can be said with the articulation. It's a little bit limited in the torso area, but otherwise it's all right. Again, I would have wanted him to look up a little bit more, but that goes with every single Superman figure. I do prefer the bendy wire cape over the plastic cape, so you know that is a factor in deciding which Superman you get. As for accessories, I love the inclusion of Krypto. I would have wanted maybe a few extra hands, just an extra fist, an extra open hand for both sides. And then the face plates could have been a little bit better. I like the idea of the inclusion of them, but they don't have enough expressions for me. With that being said, it really does come down to the price point of this figure. I found this guy for $30 Canadian. I know that it's gone up for higher in the US because of the whole tariff situation. But for that price point, I do think that this figure deserves a good 7 out of 10. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you guys excited for the new movie? I know I am, and I can't wait to see a new era of DC. You know, the DCEU has been going on for some time, and I love a lot of the movies from there, but obviously it wasn't going anywhere. So hopefully now we actually get a set in stone DC universe. I'm super, super excited for that, and I'm very excited to see James Gunn's interpretation of Superman as it is. But yeah, I'm going to be taking a look at a lot of other figures from this movie, as I'm very excited for it. Red Platinum editions included, so be sure to stay tuned. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as every YouTuber begs you to do, please like and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.